Welcome back to Follow the Silence. Today we dive into a case that haunted the desert, the disappearance, the brutal deaths, and the betrayal behind the McStay family murders. Joseph and Summer McStay, along with their young sons, vanished in 2010. Years later, their bodies were found buried in the Mojave Desert. A trusted business associate was convicted, but new questions and a fresh media spotlight are resurfacing this tragedy. Let's walk through the timeline, the evidence, and what's happening in 2025. In early 2010, Joseph McStay, age 40, and his wife Summer, around 43, lived in Fallbrook, California, with their sons Gianni, 4, and Joseph Jr., 3. They had moved from coastal San Clemente into a larger home, beginning renovations and trying to build a life. On February 4, 2010, everything changed. The family vanished without trace. Their home was left in disarray. Food rotting on the counter, clothes strewn, dogs unattended in the yard. Signs of sudden departure. There were no signs of forced entry, but there was $100,000 in bank accounts untouched. Days later, their white Isuzu Trooper was found abandoned near a strip mall in San Isidro, just across from the U.S.-Mexico border. This led law enforcement and media to speculate the family might have crossed into Mexico voluntarily. Some grainy surveillance footage allegedly showed figures matching the family crossing the border, but no confirmed leads followed. The case went cold for years. In November 2013, a motorcyclist in the Mojave Desert near Victorville, California, observed a skull on the ground. Investigators responded and soon uncovered 2 shallow graves containing the remains of all 4 McStay family members. Forensic examiners determined they had been bludgeoned to death. A 3-pound sledgehammer was found among the remains. This grim discovery transformed the case from a disappearance into a mass murder investigation. Investigators reviewed their earlier theory of voluntary disappearance and found it less plausible in light of the grim evidence. In November 2014, police arrested Charles Chase Merritt, a former business partner of Joseph McStay. Investigators alleged that Merritt and Joseph had a falling out over financial issues and that Merritt stood to lose money. Prosecutors argued Merritt was in debt and misused company funds. They claimed Joseph had cut him out and confronted him about missing money. During the trial, prosecutors presented DNA evidence from the family's abandoned SUV, financial records, alleging backdated checks and embezzlement, the sledgehammer found with the bodies, the geographic connection. Merritt was allegedly familiar with the desert area where the graves were located. In June 2019, Merritt was found guilty of 4 counts of first-degree murder. In January 2020, he was sentenced to death. However, California has had a moratorium on executions since 2019, so his sentence cannot yet be carried out. Merritt always maintained his innocence. He has since filed appeals and claims of prosecutorial misconduct. In October 2025, a new ABC 2020 episode titled, "What Happened to the McStays?" aired, revitalizing public interest in the case. That episode presented fresh interviews, behind-the-scenes insights, and renewed questions about evidence and motive. One notable detail: DNA found in the McStay family's abandoned SUV was reportedly matched to Merritt, something revisited in media segments tied to the 2020 coverage. Merritt recently made statements via prison interviews, speaking with ABC's Matt Gutman from San Diego prison. He defended himself, denied wrongdoing, and claimed he still has legal paths to challenge his conviction. As the media revisits this case, questions remain. Did investigators miss something? Were there other possible suspects? And can justice for the McStays ever truly feel complete? The McStay case remains one of the most compelling and disturbing in recent American true crime history. Here are some critical questions and themes for viewers to reflect on. Trust and betrayal. A man close to Joseph, his business partner, became the convicted murderer. The betrayal angle resonates deeply. Evidence and forensics. The sledgehammer, DNA from the SUV, financial documents, each piece formed the puzzle. Could any evidence have been handled differently? Investigative timeline. Why did it take until 2013 to discover their bodies? Why was the voluntary disappearance theory strong for so long? Death penalty and moratoriums. Merritt's death sentence is complicated by California's moratorium, so while convicted, the execution can't proceed for now. Media's role in memory. The new 2020 episode brings renewed attention. Media can help keep families' stories alive, but also risks sensationalism. Hope for appeals and truth. Merritt still has legal paths open. His defense argues abuse of discretion and prosecutorial error. Whether those arguments can overturn his conviction is uncertain. The McStay family's fate remains etched in the desert sands. 4 lives silenced, a community forever changed, and a convicted killer behind bars. But the echoes of that crime still stir questions and doubt. If you found this story compelling, comment your thoughts. What do you believe happened? Thank you for watching us at Follow the Silence. Give us a follow and a like.